What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Feeling a little bit better today. Still got a little coughing going on, but I feel good enough to get this battery and wires ran for this charger because I want to power this thing up soon so we can make sure everything is working, and not to mention wire in the actual HELLCAT Mopar harness. What we're working on today is the battery system. I've already pre-ran most of the cables there. I'll show you guys here a little bit how I did that. So we're using a 2-gauge wire for the most part for a positive and negative feed, and then an additional ground 4-gauge wire that's running back to the dash, underneath the dash, that'll be grounded to the body. But I will show you guys what we're working with today. We got the Optima, of course, and we picked up this bracket here from the old Amazon special. If you guys are interested in this one, I'll put a link down in the description below, along with a few terminals that we're gonna need for the post. But the problem with this bad boy here, obviously they're not expensive and they look decent, but they don't provide any mounting holes or tabs or anything, which is kind of ironic to me if you think about it. And I kind of want to put this guy here right around there, say something like that, right? Kind of want to mount it there, but the problem is there's nowhere to mount it to. There's no holes in the bracket, so we're going to end up drilling probably 4 holes right here in the middle and then mount it to the actual cab, or I should say the trunk. The good thing is there, mounting it there, we don't have any gas tanks in the way. The gas tank's like way down here. I think it stops like right here, so I think I want to mount it there out of the way. But let's drill some holes real quick, and then I'll show you guys the rest of the wiring, the rest of the battery cables. Alright boys, we got everything finally wired up and mounted. Battery is secure, cables are ran. Now I did just run the cables and they're just sitting right here, coming from there, just because I don't want to connect anything yet, but they're just gonna land right there behind the battery and then just up top like that. Look really clean, out of the way, positive and negative. But what I did over here that you guys could not see, let me grab the light, that no way I was going to be able to do up there. What I did there is add a little junction stop, I guess you can call it, a grounding area. So right up there is just a bolt through the body right there, and then put a couple ends on each side, and then it stops there, and then it continues on to the front of the body, to the front of the car, I should say. So that's the 4-gauge I was telling you guys about. The 2-gauge, I got that one running all the way to the front of the car, and then there's a grounding post up there. Let me show you guys. But we do need to clean up this mess here in a little bit. All right boys, now that's what I was talking about. Right in there, that's where we're coming out of, right up top up there by the wheel well, coming down. We got our lace down here on the side, really out of the way. Try to get it out of the way as best as I could, all the way back here. And then we actually are coming out. There's 2 rubber grommets that are drilled there, and then grommeted, obviously, for the wires to come through to the other side of this firewall. But the one cable that I was telling you guys about, if you guys can see, let me see if this will adjust. Okay, this is going to be that grounding cable that I was telling you guys about, the 4-gauge that we ran from the battery. We're going to end up grinding some of this stuff off here, and we're gonna end up grounding the body up front up here as well to the front of the dash here in this area. And we might even run another ground from here to the engine, on the engine side of it there. We have a couple holes that we can use, so we'll probably run another grounding strap from here to the engine block and so on, so that way we got the engine grounded as well. But the reason I picked this guy's spot here, because I guess this guy, I did a little bit of research, this used to hold up the old AC box, so no longer needed. And a lot of these grounds that are coming off our HELLCAT harness kind of land right here, so it's really perfect to use this little strap here. And then, like I said, we'll use this is our main grounding strap there, and then we'll run another one through the firewall for the engine. Can never have too many grounds, boys. Coming through there, that's what I was talking about. Coming right through there, use a couple grommets and so on, come back, tied up everything out of the way, nice and neat, up and around, and then once again through there with a couple grommets through the engine side. So this is really our main area for battery slash power, whatever you want to call it. So we have our nice little breaker set up here. We got two breakers, one here, one there, and then they're obviously connected there within each other as well. But this is really where all our main power is coming from, or I should say to the main box here, the main box from Mopar. So I got a jumper coming from there, right there, to the breaker. That way that thing does its job. If anything happens, it'll go through this before it goes through that. And then this is our main power supply right here, coming out of that side of this fender, like you guys just saw, coming through there. And then that bottom one down there as well, that's our main ground coming to the front of the car. And then we just got to tighten this stuff up, and this has got a bunch of grounding straps slash posts here that it's getting grounded here, and it's going through the front of the car for headlights and all this other stuff. And then we have another wire coming from there, another, like, I want to say it's a 6 gauge coming from there, runs through there all the way down underneath the radiator and everything else, and then to this side of the core support right there, and it's grounded right there. It actually grounds the radiator support on this side, actually the whole front end, you can say. But that's kind of what we got going on as far as power and ground, boys. What you guys think? I'll try to put some of this stuff down in the description below if you guys are interested in that battery tray and everything else like that. But I think we got the power pretty much set up. We just have to now really get down to the nitty-gritty and start figuring out the actual Mopar harness and making all our connections for that. So once we have that figured out, then we can probably put the dash in and wire up that, and then maybe get a first start. I'm getting ahead of myself, guys, because we still have a few areas to do underneath the hood. We still have to plumb the car as far as oil cooler lines, but I have to have the bumper back on. I have to do that. What else do we have to do? Oh, power steering. We got to plumb the power steering cooler as well. You guys remember we mounted that in the bumper, so we got to mount that as well. A few odds and ends as well on the tranny side. We still have to actually drop the tranny and put the torque converter on. We don't have it on yet because we didn't have it when we put the tranny in place. So we still have to drop the transmission, put that all in. Bunch of odds and ends, but I'm really glad that we got this far. We got a lot of the wiring stuff done. And like I said, the biggest one is going to be that animal there with the excuse me, guys, with the Mopar engine harness. We got to get that everything connected on that end. I'm gonna do a little bit of research, guys. I got to do a little bit more research to make sure that we get everything connected properly. Like I said, first time working on a Mopar, let alone a HELLCAT swap. But let me know if you guys like the content, man, and make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you guys do, and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications, and stay wrenching.